Call the order of the August 19th meeting of the school committee. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence. Thank you. The listing of matters on the agenda are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items, in fact, may be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. This meeting is being videotaped for cable. We'd like to approve the meeting notes from our June 3rd meeting.
Moved.
We have a change, I think.
We do?
Mrs. Smith?
Yeah, there's just one addition that Kim emailed to us that just completing my sentence about the evaluation.
Okay.
So if we can have it approved with that one change, that would be great.
All in favor of approving with the change from Mrs. Smith?
Aye. Aye.
Jim, you good?
Okay. Do you have it in front of you?
You do. You have it. Yeah, we'll have it.
It
emailed it. I want to scroll down.
What was the change? You can say.
Yep, sure.
I have copies. You want to have copies?
It just was about the year. There were many things that came up throughout the school year that we didn't anticipate, and you can't capture those things on an evaluation. And each one of those things that came up were handled with exceeding expectations. Mrs. Smith mentioned that each time Dr. Oakley faced things, she faced them with truth and honesty, and it's very helpful and makes our job very easy. So that's what it says now. Before it was just cut off before the thought was finished.
Okay.
It wasn't deleting anything, just adding the rest of the thought.
All right. We all in favor?
Aye.
Yep.
Yes.
Superintendent's update.
Okay. We're back. Welcome back, everyone. It was a nice, long summer. Hot summer, but very good. I don't think there was one bad vacation week. So summer update. Although everyone's on vacation, we were very busy here. And as you know, the principals are doing the schedules, the maintenance to get these buildings ready. The campus is registering new students. We're updating all the systems, the information systems, and getting everything ready. And also, one of the biggest things, obviously, at the building level and central office is hiring. And I can say that right now with the principals and the building hires, we have a few more to go, but we did a good job hiring people as early as possible. We have a few instructional assistants because they either moved because they might have gotten a teaching job or someone moved to a different position that we had. And one that we're having a tough time filling is the library media specialist at the high school. Last minute, or a couple weeks ago, took a job in another district. So we're still working on that. I don't think there's any other teacher ones that we need. But I can tell you of the people that I've met that we've hired, really, really great hires. They looked into West Bridgewater. Every one of them told me that they looked on the website and our Facebook pages and saw things, and they just felt that it seemed like a real family here. So they're looking forward to coming to West Bridgewater. And we will bring them to our September meeting so you can put a face to the name and they can say hi. We also had a hire in the summer in our central office. Our new business manager, you know that Mickey Fredericks left us, and we hired a new business manager who started August 5th, and she's here tonight. Her name is Kathy Grant. Some of you might recognize her because she does live in town. She's been in West Bridgewater for about 30 years. She was actually, with the last superintendent, she was a school committee member, so she's very familiar with the schools from that end, but she's also familiar because she had 3 children go through the West Bridgewater Public Schools, and they did very well, Katie and Chrissy and Zach, and so she knows the school system from that end too. And really, when we talked to her, said, she really believes in the school system, and that's why she feels that she can be a part of it and really understand our culture and the needs of the schools because of all her time involved with the schools. And she comes to us, her last job, she was the CFO at the Edward M. Kennedy Institute, and she is a CPA, and we're really looking forward to having her. I can tell you that in the past 2 weeks, she's only been here like 2 weeks and a day, and she's already doing a ton of things and working with the people in the business office, and they really feel like she's a real leader and knows what she's doing, and you can already tell, and very approachable and easy to get along with. So I want to welcome Kathy to our ranks, and if you don't mind getting up and saying hi. You have to go up there.
Putting her on the spot.
Thank you. I look forward to working with Dr. Oakley, the school committee, the entire school department, and the town, really to ensure that our finances are used to provide the best possible education for all of our students. Yeah, I come from really a corporate and nonprofit background, so I'm excited to work and really move things to the next level.
Welcome
So if you have any
aboard.
questions or anything, feel free to contact me at the office anytime. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome back.
Yes.
None of us were here except me, right? When you left?
And Patty was director of curriculum, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jim, you're the only holdout.
Don't get used to it.
Good.
My days are numbered.
So that goes right into back to school. And back to school, we start next week, believe it or not. Monday, our teachers are coming for their in-service day. And then students from grades 1 through 12 will come on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll have another full day, a half day Thursday, and then Friday we'll be off. Come back after Labor Day, and that Wednesday, kindergarten will start. They won't start on Tuesday because there's a problem on Tuesday, I believe, right? So we have to push that off. So kindergarten will be Wednesday, the following Wednesday. So I know Mrs. Smith, when she was saying, talking about the proposal of going before Labor Day all the time, she said, you stop because then you do 3 days and 4 days and 5 days, and it's a nice way to ease in. And we found that last year that it really was. And I think what I've seen, we got out June 11th this year, which was early. But by the time June rolls around, if you get later into June, it's hot. And people are just ready to have a break. Whereas, although it can be hot at the end of August, they're fresh from the summer and they're used to it and they want to come back. So I think we found that with front-loading it, you get more done this way than going late in June. So I thought it was very successful last year, and I heard all positive things about it. So looking forward to getting started next week. I hope it's a little cooler than this week, but where we just go the 2.5 days, it really works out. So. Any questions about that?
No?
And the Howard Roof Project, that was our summer project for the Howard Roof Project. It took a little bit longer to go out to bid and get all the contracts done between the MSBA, between our town attorney that has to look at it and back and forth. So we finally do have a signed contract. We have a contractor, and unfortunately they're not going to start until school starts, which is they're going to be putting up maybe some of the preliminary things next week and actually start the construction right after Labor Day. But I've been told that if the weather's good, it's no more than 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So it's the outside of the gym roof, and it's also the inside. So Mr. McLaughlin talked to Mrs. DePola, and she'll just, if it's raining or something, they can go in the cafeteria, move the tables and do something. If not, she'll be outside with the kids. So they're going to put a construction fence up so that no one goes around there. So the only other thing that might be displaced a little is maybe some of the recess area if they have a construction fence.
Out front for the first month or two.
Okay, so they're just going to use the playground anyway. But when I talked to the contractor, he said he goes, because he's going to put a full crew on. So he said 2 to 3 weeks max, depending on weather. So that would be nice to get that done. And that's all I have for that.
Thank you, Dr. Oakley.
Any questions? Anyone? No?
Business, middle senior high school senior privileges. Mr. Bodwell.
I appreciate you entertaining this so early. I find this to be one of the biggest motivators for our seniors as they start the year. They all look forward to senior year when they can leave the school for about 50 minutes and go out to eat, go run home and get their athletic equipment and so forth. Market Basket and Wendy's love it as well. But it's it's a real motivator in terms of academics, in terms of their behavior and their attendance. Students can't be failing any classes, prong sport or report card time. If they're tardy in the morning, they don't get privileges that day. If they're tardy 3 or more times in a quarter, they'll lose privileges. If there's any behavioral issues, we restrict privileges. So I'm not looking to give them the first day. I'm giving them a couple weeks to kind of earn it. But I want to be able to talk to them and say, hey, this is something that if you show what you've shown in the past and are able to do this, then we'll go through the paperwork process and so forth. So it's again a great carrot for them as they enter their senior year. No changes have been made to the sign-offs. It's exactly the same. I think the one I take it back. One thing we added was we didn't have the license plate number listed, so we added that. But it pretty much all the policies, all the procedures remain the same.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bodwell.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the senior privilege permission slip as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Very happy. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Elementary student handbook. Mrs. Goulet, Mr. McLaughlin, Mr. Michael Azek.
That doesn't seem fair.
Take a law firm.
So really made some very minimal changes this year to the handbook. The biggest one is changing the mission and vision statement. So those were developed throughout the school year through the Planning for Success model and really working on building on new strategic planning. And the other changes are very minimal, with adding Kathy on as the contact person for the business office, removing the foreign language explanation for 6th grade because it's no longer offered. And then there was some just repetitive information that I think the more times you look at it and the more sets of eyes, we're just seeing information being provided in multiple places.
So everything that's right on here was, in fact, removed?
That was in the handbook previously that we have removed.
Oh, okay.
If there was yellow, that means it was replaced with something else.
Oh, okay. So why don't visitors have to have a valid driver's license anymore? And under number 1, appointments, this is all visitors that's taken out? I shall be run through the rest.
That's the high school one.
Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately, we didn't communicate. And
So that's still in there. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So yours is just
We're using a different color code than the high school.
Okay, so the first page is
We
yours.
just found that
Okay.
out.
That's
All
awesome.
right. So can you just...
Sure.
So...
So
Oh, I see. So you're deleting... Oh, so will you just make sure Mrs. Kathy's email address is...
sure, I went into the
changed?
handbook to make sure it was there. I just
Okay.
had to not put it on the changes sheet.
Okay, and then that's it. And then foreign language. I got you. And then I stop. And then that's appointments is you. All right.
So the speech and language part, that's was taken out?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we reserve that for students on IEPs, and we've changed it around our RTI model.
Okay.
And then for students that require ICAPs, and we use that for like an 8-week cycle. I found it just odd that was the only service that we provided outside of special ed.
Okay.
And not OT, not physical therapy. So instead, that's used as an RTI model, but it's just not available to every student.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Yes. Yep.
We have a motion.
Motion to approve the elementary 2019-20 student handbook changes as presented.
All in
Second?
favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Middle senior high school student athletic handbooks. Mr. Bodwell.
So ours, anything that's been added to the changes and stuff are in red, so you'll see some paragraphs, but some of the red are the ones that have been added. Under appointments, it's just a reminder to parents that they do need to have a valid license, and we'll run it through the Raptor system, a change we made last year, and we're putting that into the handbook for this year. Under automobiles, we're just adding in a form that they need to sign off on. They've always had to sign off on this form, but we've added that into the handbook. Under electronic devices, our middle school students, although they can use their cell phones during non-instructional time, we made a decision last year, and it came a lot through parent input and meeting with the teachers, that they're not to bring their phones to class at all, and to leave them in their lockers, locked in their lockers. There's no need for them in class, the Chromebooks and so forth. We do give the high school students a little bit more, because they don't use their lockers as much, so they can carry them with them. But it was a very successful change we made in the middle school, so we wanted to clearly state that in the handbook. Under extended field trip policy, we want to make it very clear that if students are removed from a field trip and have paid money, if they're removed for a disciplinary reason, that money will not be or may not be refunded. We'll make every effort to get money back if we can, but we want to make it clear that they may not be able to get that money back. And if they are sent home from a trip, that the parents will be responsible. We've never sent a student home unless it's a safe way home, but if once we arrange that and the parents agree, then they may be fiscally responsible for that. Under honors breakfast, we have kind of gone back and forth on this a lot. Trying to honor, we love the idea of an honors breakfast. We're trying to find ways to continue to honor them, but what we're proposing is to have, instead of two, having one honors breakfast in the spring. Still, you would qualify by getting 2 times on the honor roll, but it would not have to be consecutive. Last year, we went away from using fourth quarter because it was of the previous year, and we went quarters 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. The problem came up if they missed honor roll second quarter, they never got to an honors breakfast. So we're trying to, continue to find a way to, recognize students for their achievement, and we're doing that so they make it 2 out of the 3 2 out of 3 quarters, first 3 quarters. And we've already set a date. We kind of have a plan in place for parking. We're going to talk to our seniors and see if we can maybe get them off-site. We'll try to make some agreements so we can free up some more parking. When we ran the numbers, they weren't significantly different by going this way rather than just having the other 2 honors breakfasts. It was an increase of, I think, between 10 and 15 people or students. So the numbers weren't significant, so we're not going to be overloaded with cars.
Do you think you'll have an increase in parents, though, if you only have it once instead of having it twice?
Maybe. Yeah, that's very possible. School calendar, we want to re-emphasize or continue to emphasize MCAS and highlight that in the handbook so if they know the significance of it. And then finally, the special education. This is all information that was not in there before, but really clarifies information about special ed, and especially in terms of student discipline and their rights. So those are the changes we have proposed.
Thank you, Mr. Bardwell. Any questions?
So you didn't have any deletions from the handbook?
Nothing. No.
Okay.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the changes as presented by Mr. Bodwell for the 2019-20 Middle Senior High School Handbook.
Moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Bardwell.
We speak the language. We don't always use the correct words, but we understand what we're doing.
Wow, mentally it's
Got it.
Assignment of policies, MASC update with Mrs. Hume and Mrs. Sullivan.
Yes. So, as you know, there are 12 sections in the MASC online policy manual, sections A through L. And our 135 policies were mapped to the appropriate MASC manual section. So as of right now, we have finalized sections A through F, and we received the final draft of those from our MASC contact person, Jim Hardy. We met with Dr. Oakley back in June with some questions we had on section G, personnel, and we have 3 areas of the section that need reworking, and then section G will be done. And then we have a few questions on section H, negotiations we need to review with Dr. Oakley, and a few questions for Mr. Michael Lazik on section I, instruction, and then those sections will be done. And then once we receive from Jim sections J, K, and L will have had all of the sections. And so in a nutshell, out of the 12 sections, 6 are done, 3 are about 3/4 of the way done, and then we'll have 3 left. So the end's in sight, I think.
It is, it
But-
is.
I mean, I know we say this all the time. We can't thank you enough for the amount of work that's put in by you guys, and just.
Thank you.
It'll be
I
good when
mean,
they're
it's,
done.
yeah, it'll be good when it's done, but I'm sure it'll be happy when
Yes,
it's
a
done as
relief
well.
too.
But,
Very much
thank you very
so.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Warrant Subcommittee, Mrs. Sullivan.
Yes. So the following warrants were issued and paid for fiscal year 2020 under bill warrants dated August 8th, 2019, in the amount of $18,416.78. Another bill warrant dated August 15th, 2019, in the amount of $34,744.40. And a bill warrant dated August 22nd, 2019, in the amount of $239,639.25. And there was one payroll warrant dated August 23rd, 2019, in the amount of $429,591.70. And as always, all warrants are public record, and once they are signed, they are available in the Selectman's office for review.
Thank you, Mrs. Sullivan.
Thank you.
Members of the audience wishing to address the committee may do so at this time. Audience members are reminded that personnel issues or issues that violate student confidentiality cannot be addressed at this time during the public forum. Nothing. All right, we move on to our dates. The first day of school for teachers and students, August 26th, teachers' first day. August 27th, grades K 1 through 12. September 3rd, pre-K and K. Student council meetings. The Howard School meets September 9th, 2:45 p.m. in the conference room. The Music Boosters, September 4th at 6:15. Athletic Boosters, August 21st at 6:45 p.m. District-wide on August 29th, a half day for students in grades 1 through 12. August 30th, there'll be no school. September 2nd, Labor Day, there'll be no school. At the Middle Senior High School on August 20th, we have a gridiron meeting at 7 p.m. August 20th and 21st, the new teacher orientation. August 22nd, grade 7, new student orientation at 11 a.m. August 28th, athletics information night at 6 p.m. September 6th, the coffee hour is at 8 a.m. The Howard School, August 22nd, new student orientation, 9:30, 4th grade and new students. September 5th, curriculum night, 5:15 for the 6th grade and 5:30 for the rest of the school. At the Roselle McDonald School, August 22nd, new enrollment tour, 9 through 10 o'clock a.m. August 26th, the first grade meet and greet, 8:30 to 9 a.m. Spring Street School, August 20th, pre-K screening at 9 a.m. August 27th and 28th, the kindergarten assessments. August 29th, kindergarten orientation at 9 a.m. Our season athletics home opening games. On September 3rd, junior varsity and varsity volleyball. They'll be playing Atlantis Charter at 4 p.m. On September 4th, varsity and JV field hockey. They'll be playing BR at 3:30 out on the turf field. September 4th, varsity and JV girls soccer against BR, also 3:30. I believe that's over at the Howard School. September 6th, varsity football against St. John Paul of Hyannis. September 9th is golf. The opponent is Tri-Country, and that's over at the West Bridgewater Country Club. September 9th, varsity and JV boys soccer. Opponent will be Blue Hills at 3:30 over at the Howard School. And September 8th, boys and girls cross country against BR at 3:30 here at the high school. Our next regular scheduled school committee meeting will be Monday, September 9th at 6:30 here in the Middle Senior High School Learning Common. We are now going to adjourn into executive committee session for the purpose to conduct contract negotiations with non-union personnel, Dr. Patricia Oakley, superintendent, and not to reconvene in open session.
Just one thing, sorry to interrupt, but the September 3rd date is listed as the start date for pre-K and K, but I think
That's a Tuesday.
that's the Tuesday, so it is the 4th,
It's
right?
It's the Wednesday.
It's the Wednesday,
September
4th.
4th.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
Perfect. So Wednesday,
September 4th for
So if anyone
kindergarten,
drops off
pre-kindergarten.
on September 3rd, Mr. Flynn will come in and watch.
yes,
Come up and bring that.
Can I just say one thing? too?
Yes.
Bus routes will be posted on the webpage, and we'll put it out through our Facebook pages before the end of this week. We're still finalizing them at Lucini's Farms.
All right. Anything else? Anybody?
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.